Let's wrap up our preview with some names to look for later in the draft. Tanner McKee is a quarterback we met back in 2017 when he's playing at Corona Centennial High School in California. His strong arm and 6'6" frame earned him 5-star status in the 2018 high school class.
Being able to see over the offensive line or see linebackers or have a higher release when you need to for a throwing lane, it's just a good trait to have.
I think what gets understated a lot is his athleticism. So he's definitely a good athlete. He can run the football and do things there and create things with his feet.
Some of his greatest skills, I think, are intangibles. He's got a very calm demeanor. He's been like that his whole life. You know, when you watch him play, you wouldn't know if his team was up by 40 or down by 40 type of kid. Doesn't get real high, doesn't get real low, which I think is crucial for a quarterback. I think what makes him good is that he's just a humble kid that has always worked really hard for what he's wanted, and that's obviously paid off with time.
But all of Tanner's hard work to reach the top was put on hold after his sophomore season. It started when his mother noticed an unusual-looking mole on his forehead.
It was really kind of a fluke. You know, he had a mole on his forehead that looked a little abnormal, but nothing that a normal, kid doesn't usually have. And for some strange reason, my wife kind of started monitoring it, and it was getting a little larger. And she's like, I'm going to take Tanner in and just have the dermatologist check this. And they did a little biopsy, and it came back that it was positive, tested positive for melanoma. And
I remember sitting in my room when my mom told me, and I was like, not really being able to soak it in or really understand what that meant when she told me that.
And that's when it got a little scary, because melanoma is a fairly aggressive cancer, and it can spread to organs and lymph nodes and really cause a problem if it's not taken care of. So after they ran the test, they determined that they were going to take a much larger portion of his forehead out to just be safe and hope that they got all the infected areas.
Yeah, it was really scary at first. I had no idea what it is. I never even heard of it before. But yeah, we're just really blessed that the doctors knew what to do, and then we had the technology to take care of it.
After successful surgery, Tanner was declared cancer-free, but he still had one other concern when he first woke up after his operation.
There's so many nerve endings up there. If the surgeon wasn't very precise, it could totally affect his throwing motion, and she told us that prior to surgery. And it's a great story. The first thing, I wasn't there, but my wife was, the first thing that Tanner did when he woke up after the surgery was make a throwing motion to make sure everything was working properly and still in good shape.
I just had a throwing motion to make sure my motion was back so they didn't cut a nerve and restrict my arm movement. So yeah, it was really nice because I realized that, and then the doctor came in and said everything's clear, you're all good now, you're cancer free. So it was kind of a win-win right there.
All the schools recruiting Tanner had to understand one important thing. He was going to take a 2-year Mormon mission to Brazil before he began his college career.
Eu queria falar pouco sobre a confiança temos que ter em Deus. Então, quando colocamos Deus no primeiro lugar.
He chose to do that at a young age. He's a kid of character and has always been, committed to promises that he's made, and so that was a choice that he made, that he was going to, serve a mission for his church.
Well, I feel like I've been blessed a lot athletically, obviously, and so I feel like I need to use my talents for good. So if he's blessed me with this, so it's kind of my way to give back to him so I can have a positive influence on people.
After 3 years at Stanford, McKee has now put himself in position to start his pro career, and he could provide some nice depth for a team on the draft's third day. Max Duggan had a college experience full of ups and downs. He became TCU's starter as a freshman, but then a heart condition threatened his career. After successful surgery, he got back on the field and became the starter once again. He found himself as the second-string quarterback after Sonny Dykes became the head coach, but then he got the job back once again and led TCU to its first college football playoff appearance. Max played his high school ball at Lewis Central High School in Council Bluffs, Iowa. There he competed in basketball, baseball, and track in addition to football.
Yeah, so really playing all these sports, it kind of just helped me learn how to compete, learning under a bunch of new coaches with different teammates. It really just helps you appreciate the game more, and I think once you go to college and you focus just on one sport, 24/7 football, I think the game will take off.
Scouts' evaluations of Max from then to now have remained pretty consistent. He's more of a tough athlete playing quarterback than he is a polished passer, but Max has always sought to prove he can make any throw.
I like to say I'm a passer first, and then be able to have the opportunity to run, kind of give defenses that second look. But like I say, I'm an athletic quarterback. I can make all the throws, quick game, intermediate, long, and now I'm a competitor. I'm a tough kid. I'm a competitor. I love the game. So
Whether he gets selected or not, Duggan will probably get a chance to make an NFL roster during training camp. Thanks for checking out Sports Stars of Tomorrow on YouTube. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like and please subscribe to our channel so you see all of the latest content.